So great to have you here. And I can tell you, this episode is a special one. It's recorded live from the Tech Together fair that took place in October 2024. And I was there. I talked to speakers, sponsors, and it was really exciting to be there. And here is one of the conversations I had. Fleur, yes. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. We're at Tech Together currently, and you're one of the, well, you also have a red.
Yeah,
a red thing.
I don't have right now, but.
So you're part of the speakers and workshop organizers. Can you tell me what you're doing here?
Yeah, so I'm here today to give a workshop to kids to get them more interested in AI. I'm here specifically for a volunteer group that I'm part of, which is called Women in AI Benelux. And I'm part of the Activate program, where we want to encourage young girls to find a career in tech and AI, because currently there is an imbalance in the tech world. So there are more men than women who are working in the sector. And we think if you start talking to them once they're in university, then usually it's too late because they already made a decision either to pursue a career in tech or to pursue a career in another industry. So that's why we're specifically reaching out to young girls, because they are still figuring it out. Like, do I want to be a dentist? Do I want to be an artist? Or do I want to be a developer or an engineer, machine learning engineer? And with our workshop, we want to tell them it's not that complicated.
No, it's fun.
Exactly.
It's fun. You got the challenge here too, which is like fun, and also it's attractive as AI is as attractive as it can be for men. So you have a workshop. What do you do? Do you like show them what they can do? Do you tell them, like, how do you attract them?
Yeah, so we did a few test runs in some primary schools to see, okay, what would work, what didn't work. And we noticed that a lot of kids actually want to know what happens on the back end. So really, like, they don't per se want to see the pretty pictures, but they want to see, okay, how does it work? Because once they understand how that works, then they can also be like, oh, this looks interesting. I want to learn more. I want to learn how to code. So what we do in our workshop is we first ask, do you know what AI is? And then most kids say, I know of ChatGPT. It's the most common.
Very good. So that's a yes.
Yeah, so it's usually a yes. And then I said, but do you understand how it's created? And then they're like, no. So then I start explaining, okay, well, it's actually because there were a few people who decided, okay, we're going to write all these lines of code and make it do something. And because it's an AI algorithm, it can learn, it knows how to pick certain parts from a database. And based on those lines of code, it can create the answer that you want. So you ask, is the sky blue? Then it will answer, yes, based on all the data that I have, the sky is blue. And you can even use it to write your LinkedIn post, your blog post.
Yes, of course. Currently that works too.
Yeah.
Like you can train it to let it work too. But it's so simple and so it's such an easy way to get started to have this conversation. So basically, you say like you researched, you did some trial and error, like what is working to attract young female potential entrepreneurs or potential builders who like to, who might be interesting to explore AI or tech in itself. And they mostly are very interested in like what's behind it and how does it actually work. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And are you planning to give this workshop a lot, or did you really make it just for this event? How does it look like?
So this workshop we specifically made for this event. But we are talking about next year to start branching out, to start working with other organizations who are also encouraging kids to start a career in tech. So actually also with NextGen AI, he's also here on the floor.
Yeah. He is in our podcast. We just had
awesome.
We just had a whole podcast with Peter.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that too. And he says that in his workshop, he has like, there's really equality. Like he has as many boys as girls, and they're both very interested in how this actually works. So this is good news for the future, because yes, what do you say? Like I see a lot of men in tech, but I kind of miss the female, the female wave here. Yeah, I miss that too. So I totally recognize it's so good to have you here at a podcast. I talk to women like a lot about this. I ask them like, in your work, how do you see this, men-female ratio? And it's so off. Most of the time it's off. How do you experience that?
Well, I experienced, so surprisingly, I'm surrounded by a lot of women who are engineers, who learn how to code, or data scientists. And because of that, I first didn't notice it until I started organize my own meetups, where you start seeing there are a lot of men showing up because there are simply more men in the industry. That's just the fact right now. But also because for women, it's kind of scary to go to these meetups because you don't know who's the audience going to be. So for me, the reason why I also started this workshop is because I noticed that once you start explaining how easy it is, that people are more inclined to start trying it. And that's the important part for me. If you start trying it, then I already reached my goal because you started getting interest in it.
Yes, and you currently have like, how do you say that? Low code kind of solutions for people who not going to do 4 years of study. And you even have boot camps of 10 or 12 weeks, but you can be a full coder just by getting started. So there are a lot of ways. I did some promotion for Le Wagon, for instance, and they just put people in a boot camp, mostly women, who want to have a new career. They go through the boot camp and they can immediately go to a new job, which is like a fantastic way. You just said that you're involved in Women in AI.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, sure. So Women in AI is a community specifically for here in the Netherlands, where all kinds of women in the industry come together to volunteer. But I want to say we bring other women together who are in the industry so that there's kind of like a sisterhood, because otherwise you don't find each other per se, because we're so spread out. And to show that there are others like us who wanted to make female friendly and where we can have conversations together. That's just pretty fun.
Yes, and how big is the community?
So the chapter that I'm part of is the Benelux chapter, but I think there are over now 10,000 members worldwide, and you have all different kind of chapters, which is really cool.
You also have meetups where people can join.
Yeah, so those meetups are pretty much open to anyone.
So for women who might look for a career in AI, that's open to visit and to talk to other women who actually achieved to have a career in AI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. How do they get to a meetup?
So we have a website which is called womeninai.nl, if I think I'm correct.
And otherwise it's .com.
Yeah, .com.
Just look it up.
Where you can see all the events, all the circles that are taking place all over the country, because it's not just in Amsterdam, it's in Eindhoven, Rotterdam. I think also in Nijmegen, they're starting a chapter now as well. So pretty much anywhere in the Netherlands you want to join,
you can join and you can talk to other women. That's so good. Do you have other advice for women who are looking at a tech scene and like to explore if this is a scene they want to work in? How would you suggest they can start?
What I would suggest is actually go to meetups. That's my number one recommendation. Because in meetups, you meet other people who are either curious about it or already know stuff about it or have a job in it. And they can advise you on what's the best way to get into it. For example, in my case, my background is in international communication, so that's totally the opposite of AI. But because I started going to meetups, I started getting an interest in AI, and I was like, oh, I want to start pursuing a career in here. What are my options? And that's how I ended up rolling myself into AI.
And how did you educate yourself and make the change in career?
So I listen to podcasts, for example, from another group in the US, which is called Women and AI, so with an and instead of an in, who talked about how they built their companies in AI or how they started their careers. And then based on that, I started looking into, okay, which universities provide a course? Do I have to take a university degree, or can I also do courses that are either free or paid? And also dive into AI newsletters. So newsletters that are made by other AI experts, because those also educated me what is possible. And also what do I need to know on a weekly basis, because AI changes so quickly.
Yes, it's going really fast. And how did you do it in the end?
So in the end, how I did it is I actually started a master in AI, which was called a Master in Media Innovation at Breda University. Then I found a job, which was for the AI company I'm currently working for, which was looking for a content specialist. But then they were like, we actually need a community manager. And I was like, well, that sounds like me. What does it entail? And that's how I ended up joining an AI company where I'm now the community manager, which is really cool at the same time.
And so you're doing what you like.
Yeah.
You're in AI with something that fits your talent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best part. That's the whole thing. When people think about tech, they immediately think they need to code or they need to, become someone they're not. I'm someone in tech too, but I'm a public relations specialist. Well, you're a community manager. We also had in the podcast a marketeer and as well, because
there's so many jobs in tech.
A company, the whole company needs to be filled by people with a total different background and total different talent sets. So you don't have to code to be in tech or to be involved in tech. You might code.
It's good to have knowledge about what it entails.
You especially understand what the company is doing and what the other people are doing. However, you don't have to, and you can still have a great career in tech. Is there something else you would like to say to all the listeners or the people who check out our YouTube channel and look this if you like this?
I'm saying a lot of them.
No problem, I live it.
What I would say is explore, be curious, and try things out. That would be my number one recommendation. No matter what your level is in coding, in AI, if you don't know anything about it, if you know everything about it, try everything out that there is. Because only then will you know if it's something for you. Or how you can get better at it.
Yes, and let me end that with the phrase: "You only regret the things you didn't do. You won't regret in the end the things you did do, but did not really work out because this helped you further." So, thank you so much for your time to be a part of this
you're welcome.
podcast. Please search for her. At LinkedIn. I guess we're at LinkedIn, Instagram maybe too.
You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I do have a Twitter account, I think, but I'm not really using it anymore.
Okay, so Instagram and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Please mention your name again.
Oh, sure. Yeah, my name is Fleur Prince. Be sure to follow me on LinkedIn because I always also share AI insights.
Oh, that's really interesting. Good that you say. Yes, and you can also meet Fleur at meetups. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you as well.
If you enjoyed today's episode, hit subscribe and leave a review. Stay connected on social media. Find us on LinkedIn, Instagram and X, DutchTechOnHeels. Who are the C-level women in tech you'd like us to feature next? Send us a message. Your suggestions guide our future conversations. Stay inspired, stay connected, and until next time, this is DutchTechOnHeels signing off.